The developers of Rocket League give away unique and sometimes one-of-a-kind titles for special players in the community to show off in-game. Anything from winning the World Championships to collecting 1,000 pigeon heads has secured these rare titles for players. We're looking at the 7 rarest titles in Rocket League that not any more than 2 people own. Number 7 is Rocket Husband and Rocket Wife. It doesn't take too much explaining to understand what this title could be for. Psyonix gave this title to people in the community who met on Rocket League and ended up getting married. Not to be confused with the Rocket's engaged titles, which is similar, but given away when the players are engaged instead of married. At first, these titles were only owned by one couple, but to my knowledge, there are 2 known couples that have this title. The reason Rocket's engaged is left out on this list is because many more of those have been given out. And Psyonix explained on Reddit that they're going to be looking into converting the Rocket's engaged titles into Rocket Husband and Rocket Wife once these couples get married. So as of right now, these are the most rare Rockets titles, although since it seems Psyonix isn't quite done giving these titles out to deserving couples, we could see the rarity diminish down the road, but I definitely don't think they mind. Number 6 is the 3-time World Champion. While the other normal RLCS titles aren't on the list, which are usually a 1 of 3, I couldn't leave out the best of the best RLCS titles. In order to get this title, a player needs to win not 1, not 2, but 3 RLCS World Championships. There are only 2 players that earned this title to date, being TurboPulsa and K-Dot. And of course, they won 2 World Championships on the same team, giving them the 2-time World Champion title as well. While Violet Panda received the 2-time title, Turbo had already won it in Season 3 on Northern Gaming, and K-Dop ended up winning it with Vitality, putting them 1 step ahead of Violet Panda. Number 5 is White Hat Legend. If you follow Rocket League, there's a good chance you've heard of the White Hat item. While at first glance it doesn't look like much, this topper is valued at over $4,000 because of its rarity. To receive the White Hat, you needed to be an ethical hacker who found a game-breaking bug and instead of exploiting it, let the developers of Rocket League know so that they could fix it without worry. If you're in the hacker or development community, you know that white hat hackers are the opposite of black hat hackers, so that basically follows. However, there were multiple white hats given out, and at this value, hackers would be searching for these bugs in order to receive such a valuable item. Although Rocket League only gave out 2 titles to the original owners of the white hat. The first 2 to ever find one of these bugs before even knowing about the white hat and potential benefit, and they were awarded with the title White Hat Legend as well as a verified club for their help. I put this title over the 3-time World Champion only because Rocket League will not be giving out any more of these titles, unlike the 3-time where a player could just win another World Championship and still potentially get it. Number 4 is Wet Art Man. There's been lots of known famous people and celebrities to play Rocket League and even give it a little bit of promotion, though when Rocket League was much smaller, a Twitter account by the name of S Watercolor really enjoyed playing the game. They were known by having this unique wet art paint style and would post stories and quirky paintings out for the public to enjoy. They would occasionally post about Rocket League and even created a wet art painting for Rocket League itself for no reason other than they just enjoyed the game. This of course brought a decent set of eyes to the smaller game at the time and overall was just really cool to see for the devs. So they awarded only this user with the Wet Art Man title, showing our first 1 of 1 title on this list. Number 3 is the Pigeon Man. The Pigeon Man is one of the more interesting titles. It was given to a member in the community who collected 1,000 pigeon toppers for no reason other than he just wanted to. He would often post on Reddit and even went to an RLCS LAN. Rocket League devs decided to give him his own unique 1 of 1 title, and just like the Wet Art Man title, there is only 1. It was confirmed that this will not be a common occurrence and there won't be any more titles given out for collecting items like this. The reason I have this title at number 4 over Wet Art Man is because this player did have to go through the grind of getting all those toppers, and since Wet Art Man was already a little bit famous in his own community, showed me that this title kind of took a little bit more to get. Of course, not to discredit the Wet Art Man. Number 2 is First Rocketeer. Rocket League now has a new revamped experience system so you can get very high in the levels. However, when Rocket League was new, there was a level cap of 75, and every time you went up a certain amount of levels, you would get a gray tag, like Expert, Master, Legend. And once you hit level 74, you would receive a gray Rocketeer. A Rocket League player by the name of Stony posted about him with proof of hitting this Rocketeer level and was the first to ever do so. Because of this, the devs gave him a yellow First Rocketeer title. It's honestly impressive Stony managed to reach this level before even any of the pros at the time, and considering how much players like Cooksier and Kronovi were grinding, was actually very impressive. I actually managed to play a game of hoops with Stony not too long ago, and I was curious myself if he was competing in any of the esports tournaments, but turns out he actually didn't even hit Platinum, which in Season 1 was the game's highest rank. Though it does make sense since a lot of the pros were playing private matches for tournaments, which doesn't give you any XP. So having a normal player just grinding the game, having fun with it, makes more sense. Plus the pros definitely don't need any more titles. And for number 1, I have the 4-time World Champion. Of course, the number 1 title I have to give is to a player who can just have this spot himself since he owns 2 of the titles on this list. That being TurboPulsa. Like mentioned earlier, him and K-Dop are the only ones to own the 3-time World Championship title. However, Turbo also received the 4-time World Champion title after moving to NA and winning his 4th World Championship with NRG. While K-Dop and some others are slowly approaching behind him, he is the only player to ever do this. And it's even more impressive that he managed to win with teams in different regions. A lot of these titles are now unobtainable to get and you will never see more being distributed. Though if you want to know how you can get get some of the exclusive and colored titles, be sure to check out last week's video where I went over how to get these titles with any skill from beginner to pro. And if you have any questions about any of the titles, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer them all. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe so you don't miss on next week's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.